Hey, thanks for coming to play with us. Make sure to tune in to It's Happening Out, America's most popular live gay talk show. Stay tuned.
On the road to Stonewall, and of course, in celebrating the leather community, we discussed many things, including IML and the founder of IML and other leather-related organizations and people in the community, and we ultimately settled on Tom of Finland. Watch this.
Gay men are the obvious audience. Tom's drawings hit hard internationally already in 1950s because they expanded the identity of gay men. The feminine stereotype didn't turn Tom on, so he created a completely new imagery. Tom's men are strong, masculine, joyful, and carefree. Tom's art is a symbol for equality and diversity of sexual orientation. Even though Touko kept his orientation partly secret, Touko's drawings state that sexuality isn't something to hide, but something to enjoy and carry with pride. In an exhibition in Liverpool, 55% of the visitors were heterosexual women. Curator Gary Everett thought that Tom can be quite liberating for women because it gives them the chance to see men objectified in a way that women have been objectified for centuries. Touko's career is an example how the world changes around you if you dare to express yourself despite the pressures outside of you. The next question is who will become the symbolic revolutionary for example, transsexual equality issues that still remain unsolved in Finland. Celebrating artists like Tom of Finland has been and continues to be a public statement for human rights.
We were living very, very conservative times in my country and in my family. But anyways, I had erotic fantasies very early already. I would say before I was 10 years old, so I had fantasies, and they were fantasies of erotic fantasies of grown-up men. I adored very much the handsome men in my neighborhood, and I had a very strong fetish for some reason for leather and boots and all what was sort of combined with the masculine professions and image. And that early experience of feeling is still today in my works. It has followed all these years through in my drawings. I mean, it has come, so to say, from born. Those years were the years in my life which I was learning, I was experiencing very strongly. And I think that made all those guys in uniforms in German army, and then later after the war, when the Russian army came to Finland with them, that made a very strong expression in me, and again they follow in my fantasies, in my drawings again and again. I mean, everybody has their own fantasies and own ways to see what is illustrated there.
Yes!
Oh yeah, baby.
Well, our show's creative producer that has every doll ever made on the planet, of course, had Tom of Finland.
Of course.
And the Tom of Finland, who Josie is modeling for us, is it's really quite attractive.
Come on now.
I love his arms.
Yeah, look at that.
The most
This
is a
interesting thing
PG-13 show.
in this doll is
The fashion?
Unlike the RuPaul doll, this has a
no purse, but it
yeah.
does come with this thing.
yeah, it has a
Guys, it's a
snap-in
detachable penis. I'm so excited about that.
I'm gonna
You're very
do
familiar
this
with
without
those.
looking. Let's see.
You've done this 1,000 times.
Can you find it?
All right, hold
Find
on.
the hole, Josie.
Hold on.
It's like one of those bachelorette
What am I
party
watching?
games.
I
happened
have
over
to
here?
move on because you're.
Yeah!
Woo! And
Josie can even work a
she's
dick.
a pro. And Tom of Finland believes in safe sex, so it comes with its own condom.
With its own lesbian
Oh my
finger
God!
condom.
You can like prep. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Where are the
isn't that
prep
cool?
pills?
And
Here, you talk
look at this classic Tom of Finland book that Frank has, and this is considered pornography when this was
it's
published.
erotic art.
Okay,
Same.
erotic art.
There's
you know,
distinction.
you call it potato, I call it potato. It's really a beautiful book. It was in Production Center today, and I looked through it, of course, several times. And
Well, the thing is, there's nothing not art about
The
pornography.
pages are a little sticky.
well, as we do always in our salute on the gay icon of the week in our road to Stonewall, we celebrate the big individuals and people that have contributed contributed to the gay civil rights movement. No. We can't do it that way because that's going to
Distract. That's distraction. We
every
lost
step of the
power.
way.
Look at his facials.
Power's mouth is full.
Thank
again.
God. Yeah, thank God we're not on Facebook right now.
It's a cream-filled
My mouth
toy.
is watering, honey.
Here, let me put him down then.
Yeah.
Okay, like, all right, like.
Now I'm excited. He's the bottom.
Are we 14 years old? Is
Yes.
this some ninth grade social studies class waiting for the teacher to show up?
Do we get a little banana to practice?
We could just have him hanging
Exactly.
upside down. We could get into all sorts of fetish fun.
All right. This is.
Wait, I got a strap right
I
here.
have completely lost my train of thought.
It's because we have a
Tom of Finland.
on.
Back to
Exactly.
Earth.
See,
Back
that's
to
why
Earth.
it was so successful.
See how much fun other people are having in the art of
Exactly.
play?
By the way,
even at whatever ages y'all are at.
Yeah.
I just need everyone to know this is the real Tomcat.
Funny. All right. Well, as I was saying, America, we celebrate our gay icons of the week on our road to Stonewall. Yeah. This is our second to last. Next week will be our final, and it's a big announcement that we're going to do next week. Each week that we do our celebration of our road to Stonewall, we have tried very hard. We're all proud to be associated with this. We hope that you think that this is valuable. I know you do. I have thousands and thousands of comments related to it. But we try to celebrate our gay culture through this segment and our gay community. And we constantly say we're pursuing it, and I think we do that in finding it in this segment. So each week, as we do our celebration on the road to Stonewall and the examination of our gay icons, we allow all of the hosts to participate and tell us something that is important to them about the icon, and also a famous quote. And we'll do this exact same thing tonight. So for the second to last time, Power Infiniti.
Oh no, I'm going to start this.
You're
one,
going to
'cause
start?
It's leather.
We're going to go this way?
Yeah, we're going to go this. Can you
right.
switch gears that quickly?
Yes,
Start
I
it?
can.
All right, good. Because I want to talk about it. I'm very familiar with Tom of Finland, and I'm happy that a lot of you might be introduced to him for the first time. But it's not actually your first time being introduced to him, because Tom of Finland created this entire legendary gay aesthetic. If you've seen anything of this nature before, on Freddie Mercury, on the Village People, on a lot of different groups.
Adam Lambert at times.
It's pure Tom of Finland.
Adam
Tom of
Lambert.
Finland is the father of modern gay pornography. And I say porno now because it's also hypermasculine erotic art. This entire form was made by Tom of Finland, and if you've recognized it anywhere, or if you've had some fun to it anywhere, then you have him to thank for it. And a quotation from him. In those days, a gay man was made to feel nothing but shame about his feelings and sexuality. I wanted my drawings to counteract that, to show gay men happy and positive about who they are and who they were. My men were going to be happy and proud.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
I love his drama. Well, first of all, I love the fact that I'm an illustrator, he's an illustrator, and I admire his art. He was one of the first people that became famous worldwide before the internet, which is amazing. And it actually was when he discovered Marlon Brando in 1953 wearing the black leather jacket that it changed from sepia brown tones into the black and white. So it was very exciting for me to have
I didn't
Tom
know
of
that.
Finland in our show. His quote is, of course, fashion related. I almost never draw a completely naked man. He has to have at least a pair of boots or something on. To me, a fully dressed man is more erotic than a naked one. A naked man is, of course, beautiful, but dress him in black leather or a uniform, then we have sexy.
Nice.
So can you draw like him too? Are those sketches
I
we
can
can
draw
see?
pretty good.
Josie
I want to
Malavi.
see that style
Yeah.
from you.
Well, so, I lived in New York for over a decade. That makes me a New Yorker. And New York's Museum of Modern Art, the MoMA, has acquired several examples of Tom of Finland's artwork for its permanent collection. So Tom of Finland is considered one of the 5 most influential artists of the 20th century.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't have an erection when I'm doing a drawing, I know it's no good.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about cooking. You know what I
And by the way, wow, I love that. That wasn't a quote. That's Josie talking about it. Aaron Phoenix.
So the physique pictorial, I don't speak French, sorry. The popular gay magazine, which first published Tom of Finland's work, was actually disguised as a sports magazine to defy the anti-gay censorship laws at the time. So as those laws grew less strict, his work only got more extreme. And he claimed that there was nothing he drew that he didn't eventually experience for himself.
Oh, fun.
Right? Tom of Finland said, "I know my little dirty drawings are never going to hang in the main salons of the Louvre, but it would be nice if, I would like to say when, but I better say if, our world learns to accept all the different ways of loving. Then maybe I could have a piece in one of the little smaller side rooms."
No, nice.
Nice.
Power?
Well, I want to focus on how he's impacted me and my journey. He's woven into the fabric of my gay journey.
I know, it's woven into this fabric right here. I can see it.
He's been called the most influential creator of gay pornographic images. And for me, he made it okay to cruise. For me, he made it okay to be seedy. For me, he made it okay to find men erotic. And frankly, for me, he made it okay to be gay. So hats off to Tom of Finland.
Woo.
Yes.
And
And your
caps
quote?
on, covers on.
My quote from him, "My whole life long, I have done nothing but interpret my dreams of ultimate masculinity and draw them."
Very nice. Tom of Finland is one of our gay icons on our road to Stonewall, our second to last week before the Stonewall celebration next week. Yeah. For me, it's interesting because I remember as a teenager and then early into college, etc., I was aware of Tom of Finland, and I thought attractive. But I was deeply in the closet in college, and so I didn't embrace it in the way that I look at it now. When I looked at this book today, and a number of times I looked at imaging in the book, it is clearly hypersexual. Clearly, it's beautiful. The doll is interesting to me. I have been criticized in the leather community very significantly, mostly because of the community that I come from, which is the drag community. And although I've never done drag, I have been considered.
God.
I've been considered in the drag community significantly, and I've made the observation repeatedly, and people have always been offended by it. I would have liked to have met him and asked him about my observation, because I've always made the observation, this leather of this doll, for example, and the imaging in this book reminds me very much of drag queens. It's just a different kind of drag. Instead of feathers, it's black leather jackets. Instead of beautiful florals, it's a leather vest. Instead of spectacular crystal high heels, it's boots. But to me, it always seemed to be the same. It's drag. It's just a different kind of drag. I've always thought it interesting. Drag queens were never offended by this observation. Hardcore leather guys were always offended by this conversation. And I would like to have met him to have this conversation, because clearly it is spectacular and beautiful, and he is a gay icon to celebrate.
I would have loved to sleep with him. No, that's not actually a joke. I would have loved to sleep with him, because I find that somebody that is that creative and that talented really does turn me on. And what's in his mind as far as his homoerotic ideas and visions would be, to me, just such a wonderful time in bed.
It is
Yeah, the
mine,
big dick
Todd.
energy, girl.
Yes, it is mine. I finally get a chance to play, so I'm going to. And if you guys want to see us comment more on what Al just said in another segment, please let us know, because I'd love to comment on that more deeply.
Okay, all right, very good.
Thanks for tuning in to It's Happening Out, America's most popular live gay talk show. If you like what you saw, make sure to click the subscribe button right there. See it?